we had, I don't know, Curtis or whoever was actually getting this.
Right.
So I'm standing in the back listening to him and then just kind of watching what else is going on in the clubhouse. And I'm pretty sure he knew I was looking, basically, he's right in my line of sight. And so he takes his towel and wipes his backside. Now, let me tell you, I'm not saying he patted the water off his cheeks, okay? I'm saying with hand, wipes his backside with the towel and throws it at the back of the reporters. Now, had I been hit with that towel, there would have been an issue. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to punch the guy, but what you saw from Vargas with the Mets may have happened right there because I'd have said, what the blank are you doing?
Right.
Right? And I'd have turned around and said, Swanson, get the blank over here right now. Because I'm not going to sit here under any circumstance and be dehumanized by this piece of crap. This is not happening.
No,
I said something to him. I said, by the way, I want you to know what just happened. And if I ever see it again, then it's going to be full blow the next day, and I'm going to start quizzing him about it, and he's going to get on tape, and his teammates are going to start getting asked about it. Okay? So, now I lost my point. I became crap on it. Oh, Moose. Okay. So, maybe he's a great teammate. Maybe he's not. You know, I don't know. But if you're willing to bring on Jason Vargas,
right,
then you got to tolerate a guy who hits 38 home runs, sets a new club record for home runs, and how quickly the franchise just went.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that, although it did seem mutual, I'll say that. But he did come back.
Right.
So, there was a place where he would have set the differences aside and come back and played. Now, he had no takers at that point in time.
And let me be clear. The Brewers had him last year, and they offered him all of a one-year deal this year. So he may have been the exact same guy with the Brewers, and that organization's like, we'll deal with him, but we're not giving any guaranteed money because he's a jerk. If we give him guaranteed money, he's going to go to 11. No, we're not doing it. It may be – I want to be clear. I'm asking. I'd like to know why. I'm sure there's a reason. But, when we talk about these little $2 million here, $3 million there, it was a 1-year, $10 million deal for Moustakas.
Right.
Kick out Willie Peralta's $2.25. All right, I'm up to 7.5 now.
Right.
Right. I'll get you there. Like, get rid of Maldonado. I'm there. And you have a guy who's barreling towards 45 home runs. Playing at one of the corners. Hunter Dozier and Mike Moustakas
and also,
looks like a finished corner. Witt and Mondesi look like a finished your infield. And Sal comes back. You're ready to win a championship with that infield.
And also, it doesn't matter what we say. The fans love Moose. They wore Moose ears, and they don't have to talk to him on a daily basis. They just have to watch him hit home runs. And when some guy, it's like Matt Kuchar now on the PGA Tour. He's got a chant. Cooch, everybody. It's easy to say whatever. He's proven to be a jerk, but nobody cares. I mean, they still go Cooch, and everybody still went Moose.
My Mutaka.
There it is.
So anyway, now putting butts in the seats is overdone. In baseball, you got to win. I mean, when a starting pitcher is a stud, that's about the only thing that really moves the turnstiles as far as star power is concerned in baseball generally. But still, Moose is popular. So he would have been a good sign to bring back.
Well, that's my frustration with the free agency is like I think I'd rather have one prime guy and then live with Cam Gallagher, right? When Salvi goes down, just live with it.
Right.
Because Maldonado is certainly, I'm sure, done a much better job behind the dish. Everybody raves about what he does behind the dish.
But Cam Gallagher is supposed to be a good defender and a good pitch caller and
so
whatever.
Live with it.
And Ned's a catcher. So how many games do you watch in the major leagues where the catcher is looking over at the dugout every pitch? I mean, there are teams that do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can babysit the catcher if you want.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Now, I will say, I don't have a problem with, okay, we're going to take that $10 million and we're going to throw it at 5 long shots. And if we hit one, like Jeremy Guthrie, trading for Jeremy Guthrie, ended up sticking and working.
Right.
That worked. Homer Bailey, right now, is turned back to the good Homer Bailey, and looks like that might work. And so if out of those you end up being able to trade Billy Hamilton, trade Homer Bailey, and trade Maldonado, then okay, mission accomplished.
Instead, really, none of them have worked to a great extent, except Bailey right now.
Yeah, not here, but if they deliver the goods in a trade, so be
right. But you have to, when you sign him, you have to expect them to produce so that the other teams think they're worth trading for. Right. And unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Now, all right, we're going to take a break. We come back. I want to talk about what the Chiefs will be without Tyreek Hill for 2 games, 4 games, 6 games, 8 games. I know Nate Taylor's leaning towards in his latest report that he's hearing it's going to be around 4 games. So what do the Chiefs look like? What does Andy Reid look like coming out of the gates? We'll talk about that next with Danny Clinkscale. Danny Unleashed. He's brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Great time if you're looking to get into a great company to work here in Kansas City. Easton Roofing is that company. Call 913-257-5426. They're hiring right now, 913-257-5426. Find them online at eastonroofing.com.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
We're here with Joe Spiker, the president of Easton Roofing. And Joe, you worked for other companies in the construction industry. What inspired you to start your own company in Easton Roofing?
Well, Danny, when you are working for somebody else, you oftentimes don't get to see the project through from beginning to end, and you don't get the final control over the customer experience. And I wanted to build a place where people can come and get work done on their house and not have to worry about being treated the wrong way and get a good customer service experience start to finish.
The company slogan is "Where Integrity Matters." Why is that so particularly important to you?
Well, for us, what that means is treating each other with respect at work, treating our clients with respect, and making the right choice, especially when no one's looking. So when you're presented all the time as a contractor with choices that have to be made, are you going to make more money on this if you cut a corner? And we just wanted to make a place and a slogan that said to our people and to whoever is our customer, we're not going to do that. We're going to make the right choice regardless of profit.
Easton Roofing, where integrity matters.
You're in the program? Wow.
That's the thing about a cold. You never know what's going to happen when you first open your mouth.
Could you hook me up with some ice and water, Rudy? I'm sorry. Wow. That was a rough one.
You just don't know. Once you're rolling,
right?
You know that
get a vibe.
It's okay, but the first one.
The good news.
Soren is swilling honey right now. Very nice.
Right over there off the shelves. We did pay for it, by the way. I got a fresh jar of honey. It does a good job. See, like I'm already better. Perfect. Can't tell I even have a cold now. It's a lot better. It soothes quite a bit. Yes.
Soothes the savage beast.
That it does. We're at Hen House, 135th and Metcalf. If you want to stop by and grab some lunch, Boar's Head has such great meats, and of course they've got their chicken sausages and their hot dogs. They're selling them right out front. Going to be grilling them up for you. $2 for the chicken sausage, $1 for the hot dogs. The meal you can get with a hot dog, $3. It includes chips and a drink. So come on by and get stocked up with everything you need for the weekend at the Hen House. Meat counter, and of course, the real beer is here as well. Even the specials on the Corona, Corona Light, Corona Premier. Come down and take advantage of it. It is here at your neighborhood Hen House. Danny from DannyClinkscale.com is brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing, hiring full-time residential and commercial roofing repair techs and project managers as well. Great place to work, drug-free, exciting, safe, fast-paced, friendly, pay is above scale, guaranteed work all winter, and benefits include paid vacation, phone, and a vehicle provided, and simple IRA match. They can reach out to them via the website, eastonroofing.com, or call 913-257-5426.
You know, it's an easy way to find their website.
What's that?
You go to DannyClinkscale.com, and you'll see their banner ad there, and you can click on that. It'll go right to the website.
I like that.
So then you can check out the content, record-breaking content.
Is it really?
Well, this week there were records set.
Yeah. Whatever do you mean, Danny? Whatever do you mean?
There was a bit of a conflagration that perhaps spiked interest in DannyClinkscale.com.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, it was. You can find all the great material there, from the perhaps controversial to just plain movie reviews, like I did a movie review this week. So all kinds of different stuff. And today, Kansas City Profiles, which is each and every Friday, will be my conversation with Jeff Montgomery.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Royals Hall of Famer. Very interesting chat that we had.
All right.
You can check that out later this afternoon when it goes up, sponsored by Easton Roofing as well.
No doubt it'll go viral soon after.
Certainly will. Yeah. Certainly will.
Andy Reid, first 4 games, no Tyreek Hill is the expectation. I mentioned that's what Nate Taylor is hearing. It will be Nate Taylor from The Athletic reporting that. You hear him here regularly in the program. I had the interns, because they're Curtis today.
Right.
Takes 2 men to fill the shoes.
Oh, I'd say
literally
more, really. But
fill the shoes of Curtis.
But you only have 2, so that's the way it's going to have to be.
History of Andy Reid in his first 4 games. What do you suppose his record is? And I will tell you.
I remember you doing this. It's fairly lackluster.
80 games.
I'll say he's 42-38.
I'm having to do math here because they did not. One of the things they should know is that Curtis does the math. They did not choose to do the math.
I see.
Therefore, I am doing the math, which is taking us a second.
They just put the records.
Yeah, each one. They did not think.
Think about adding. I found through the years that the younger you are, the worse you are at math.
Is that right?
You ask people to do math now, like in their head or back timing for the radio or whatever, and you might as well ask them to go to the moon. It's like I revel in giving somebody a quarter, when it's like $12.25 at the store. That give them a quarter and watch their head spin. I mean, I know that at one of the hen houses, Curtis told me that to help their help, it just doesn't tell them the change on the cash register. It says 2 5s, 1 1, 3 quarters, 2 dimes, then a nickel and a penny. I mean, it basically says it to them instead of $12.76.
I want to see you do this change. I don't think you'd be quite as good as you think.
I actually love numbers. Once they started throwing X's at me and things like that, I hated it. But I did pass geometry without being able to show the work because I could do the problems in my head.
Well,
then I'd get a C because they'd have the space for the work.
Yeah.
And I just make it up. So anyway, but simple math I love doing.
Yeah, well, what more can anybody ask for than being able to get through geometry? Well done, Danny. I'm proud of you. No, but seriously, he's 48-32.
Oh, 48-32, not 42-38.
So 31-25 with the Eagles.
Right.
17-7 with the Chiefs.
Okay, so coming here, he hadn't been so great in the first few games, but here he's been fine.
31-25.
It's all right. I mean, but a division-winning team, that wouldn't be a pace that. I guess that'd be a pace to what? That's about 10-win pace.
You're not ace. You're not screwed.
Right.
So he keeps you in the game, but with the Chiefs, he's gotten off to great starts. He only had one. Here are his starts: 4-0, 2-2, 1-3, 2-2, 4-0, 4-0.
So it's sort of been feast or famine.
I don't know how you could say that with 2-2s.
Well,
there's only one sub.
I guess that's not famine, but 2-2 is a lackluster start if you have designs on winning the division.
But you're not dead.
No, you're not dead. No, he hasn't buried himself.
And his 1-3 year, he made the playoffs.
Right? Wasn't that when they went 1-6?
1-5.
1-5.
They won 10 in a
1-5
row, and then 11th in the playoffs.
Right.
So the bottom line, listen.
Well, I think that Andy Reid comes out of the blocks with an advantage on people. He usually trots out a couple of things that eventually the rest of the league picks up. They not only pick it up and use it themselves, they sort of pick it up and defend it a little bit better as the season goes along. But he usually does have a jump on somebody, jump on the early opposition with some new tactics offensively that haven't been seen. He's good at that.
Do they really defend it that much better?
I think yes, because I think he ends up some stuff that just absolutely